Hi, I'm David Hyatt, and welcome to Auto Focus, where we talk to some of the people making the news in the automotive industry. Today, our guest is Jonathan Banks. He's the Executive Automotive Analyst with the NADA Used Car Guide. Jonathan, welcome.
Thanks, David.
Tell us a little bit about your key concerns stemming from the crisis in Japan.
The main concern stemming from the earthquake in Japan is the production disruption on the new vehicle side. And what's happened is a lot of the vehicles coming from Japan happen to be the fuel-efficient vehicles that have already been really popular in the U.S. from the rising gas prices. So we already had tight inventory on the new car side, and now with the earthquake disrupting production on many of the key manufacturers, Toyota, Nissan, and Honda, we'll see even tighter supply on new vehicle inventory, especially on fuel-efficient vehicles.
What should buyers and sellers of used cars take into consideration during this period of uncertainty?
Well, if you're a seller, if you have a fuel-efficient vehicle that you could trade in, right now might be the best time to trade it in, because right now dealers are scrambling to get used vehicles, because with the new inventory so tight, they need to turn to used to have enough inventory to satisfy demand for small cars. So if you own a small car, and your trade-in value is probably going to be higher than you've seen in 2 years.
This really underscores the global nature of the automotive industry, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, even with a lot of the Japanese production being a transplant production in the U.S., a lot of that production is going to be disrupted too from parts coming from Japan. And we're seeing disruptions around the globe from the earthquake. And like I said, in North America, the most pronounced effect is really going to be on the small cars where you know, that's what buyers want right now.
How quickly can a guidebook or the market react to an unpredictable catastrophic event such as the earthquake and tsunami in Japan?
Well, we've seen the market react very quickly. In the 2 weeks following the earthquake, we saw prices shoot up on fuel-efficient vehicles. For example, the Prius went up 15 to 20% in a 2-week period. The overall segment, where you find what we call the intermediate compact segment that has the Civic, Corolla, Focus, and Cruise, that segment went up 11% in the 2 weeks following the earthquake. That was driven purely by speculation from dealers on they're forecasting inventory is going to be tight. I need to get my vehicles now, and they drove up the prices.
So what will NADA do specifically to its values?
Well, NADA has made dramatic upward movements on our values for all passenger cars, with emphasis on the fuel-efficient vehicles. Fortunately for NADA Used Car Guide, we collect data on a weekly basis from AuctionNet, which represents 80% of wholesale transactions in the United States. We saw the upward price movement that was driven by the dealers' anticipation of tight supply, and we moved our values accordingly because we feel that the impact is going to last for a few more months due to the production disruptions. So what you'll see in the guidebook is much higher values for all passenger cars, with especially high movement on small fuel-efficient vehicles.
Now, what if a viewer wants to go to get more information, more data, more analysis? Where would they go?
Well, we've done a full report in our April guidelines publication that you can find on our website, talking about not only the market update, but getting into specific details on what NADA believes will happen to used car prices based on the earthquake and tsunami in Japan.